Hi everyone, in today's video I'll be reviewing some new stationery that I got and I'm very excited about it, so yeah, let's get into it. So this video actually marks my very first gifting collaboration with a brand, and if you didn't already tell, I'm talking about Ohuhu, which is a stationery brand which I've admired for the longest time. I was very curious about them and I was so surprised to see that they were willing to collab with me. And this video will be sectioned into 3 parts. The first one dedicated to the brush pens that I got, the second one to the fine liners, and the third one will have some doodles that I drew on different kinds of paper. Now that the fine liners are out of the way, it's time to take a closer look to the brush pens, and obviously we're gonna start off with this gorgeous packaging because I think it's like the prettiest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Obviously, the most exciting part pretty much waits inside, and once you open the box, this is pretty much what you see. There's a little protective sheet on top of the markers. There's a guarantee of quality, and one thing that I really like about these markers is that they give you refills for the brush pens, but also for the fine liners. There's 3 refills for the brush pens and 2 for the fine liners. I've never actually used any of these before, but it's really interesting to still have some. They also come with a lot of instructions and a lot of languages, so you would actually know how to do it, how to replace the tips. Now, I also really feel the need to shout out the shipping and support part of this whole collaboration, because first of all, I had such a great conversation or communication with one of the brand's representatives that deals with the whole influencer side of things, and everything was so clear. They made everything as clear as possible, and when it comes to the shipping, I was incredibly surprised to see how fast these actually got to me. I am currently living in Eastern Europe, and usually things take a lot to get here, so it was a great surprise. And now that all that info is out of the way, I think it's time to actually focus on the markers, on the shades that they offer. You can see a close-up to them, and I'll just let you enjoy the view for a couple seconds. So, as you may or may not know, these are also dual brush pens. Therefore, here's the brush side of them. Pretty flexible, you can do calligraphy with it, it's great for coloring and everything. And then there's also the fine liner tip, which I adore because it's actually very thin compared to the Tombow dual brush pen one, which, is pretty cute as well, but I needed something a little bit thinner than that. Here comes the most exciting part of the video, where we get to put the markers aside and bring out my swatch sheet. I made this in Canva, and I'm gonna leave a link. I'm gonna try to find a way to leave a link to it in the description box. They also offer you 2 swatch sheets and also a little sheet with all the shades, which I love and I will totally be using for personal purposes. But for the sake of this video, I wanted to have all 100 colors in the same place so you could actually have a better overlook of everything. This is the Maui series, by the way. I'm pretty sure they have different collections, so you may want to keep that in mind if you're planning to order some for yourself or just do some more research into them. And we're done, and here's a close-up to all the shades. I do have to say that the variety is great. You get a lot of shades of pretty much every color, so no matter what theme or illustration or drawing you're trying to do, you'll probably find the right shade for them. And I also did a cute little comparison between the sheet that they offer with all the shades and my swatch sheet, just so maybe you could notice some differences if there are any. I didn't necessarily notice them though. And for now, we're getting rid of the markers and we are starting to talk about these fine liners, which came as a godsend. Honestly, I needed some new fine liners desperately, which is actually the reason behind my April theme, if you saw that video. So yeah, let's get into these as well. So the pack that they sent me includes 8 fine liners. Each of them has a different size, and there's also a brush pen in here, which I've never had before actually, so I think that's going to be really interesting to try to use. It also comes, of course, with some instructions, more information about the shading and the sizes of everything. So yeah, here they are. As a demonstration, I'm bringing out my Leuchtturm 1917 journal to show you the sizes of all these markers, which range from a 0.05 to a 1, so that's a lot of variety as well. And I'm not going to show you if they ghost because you'll see that in the last part of my video. Also, the last thing that you see on this little demonstration paper is the brush pen, but I don't necessarily know how to use that one that well. And here's another fun part of the video, because it's time to bring out some characters that I drew on different kinds of paper to show you, these markers actually being used and the fine liners as well. So yeah, let's just get into it. We're starting off with Princess Bubblegum, which is one of my favorite characters of all time. And for her, I'm using a 0.3 fine liner. I thought that she doesn't necessarily look that detailed, so I don't need a thinner one. Here's the final look. I basically used all the vibrant colors I could find, and now it's time to flip the page upside down. This is a notebook therapy journal which has 160 GSM for reference. And now it's time for Hello Kitty, which is also a really cute character that I like, and I drew her with a cute little graduation outfit using a 0.2 fine liner. When it comes to this doodle, I used a random piece of paper that I got from a regular notebook. I got this notebook locally, so it's not a big deal. It should probably have around 90 to 100 GSM. And now it's time for the third doodle, which is Kirby, and I also really like this one. Since Kirby isn't necessarily the most detailed character either, I decided to draw him using a 0.5 fine liner. I really love the final product, and I drew this on a Lloyd Stern 1917 journal, which you actually saw earlier, and this one should have around 120 GSM. And now we're moving on to this illustration, which I found in one of my old sketchbooks. I'm using a 005 fine liner for this because I thought it's a little bit more detailed than the other ones, so I might need to really pay attention to every single little thing. So yeah, enjoy the process and I'll show you the final result. And here we have the final product. I think this is really cute. And as I said, I drew this on a regular sketchbook that I found, which I believe should have around 90 GSM. And it's time for our last doodle of this video. This is actually my favorite and I don't want to spoil anything, but I think I'm actually gonna do a theme dedicated to strawberry shortcake. I just love her so much. I am coloring this in. The video of me outlining everything got lost, but I did this with a 0.2 fine liner, which is the fine liner that I normally use even in my bullet journal with my spreads and everything. And here's the final result. I really love the way it turned out. However, I did this on some regular office paper with around 80 GSM. Therefore, there's quite a lot of ghosting on the other side, so keep that in mind. And as a conclusion, I'm showing you all these doodles as well as letting you guys know if they ghosted or not. You can basically already see. And I'm also gonna recommend something. If you don't know the GSM of the notebook that you're using, which is very probable, you should probably just do a pen test and everything should be just fine. So yeah, if you're planning to get these markers, make sure to test them on the paper that you're using so you don't end up being really surprised. And that was pretty much my video for today. I really hope you enjoyed it. I tried to be as informative as humanly possible. I don't know how this video is gonna get treated because up until now I've only posted journal related videos, but either way, I also want to let you guys know that Ohuhu was kind enough to give me a discount code, so you can now get 10% off their official website using the code BeesBujos, which should be somewhere on screen right about now. Overall, I have to say that I'm very satisfied with these markers and the fine liners as well. I do have to say that they don't smudge at all. Obviously, as you saw, there is a little bit of ghosting, but certainly not on the kind of paper that I use, so there's a lot of comfort in that. But you know, if you use a different kind of paper, I feel like you could still make it work. And I noticed a lot of advantages, such as a great range of shades, which I really love because I like including new colors every month. As I said in the beginning, this video was so exciting to make and to film and to edit because it marks my very first gifting collaboration, which was so fun and so happy for me. It was like a really happy moment. And yeah, all the products that you saw in this video will be linked in the description box, and I'll see you guys in the next one.